Later on came the Star Club in Hamburg, which groups went over there and worked practically every other hour from 6 o'clock in the evening till 6 o'clock the following morning. You know, that was a lot. So the Cavern taught them the sound, to get their sound right, to go over and do a month at the Star Club Hamburg and just play. When they came back, you sure had a tight band.
My brother was booked into a club in Liverpool, just 1 or 2 streets away from the Cavern, called the Iron Door. We were preparing to set up for the stage for my brother's band, and we discovered that the bass equipment had broken down. But I was looking around the place. It was quite dark, and it was an old warehouse in Liverpool, and I seen somebody leaning against the wall. So I walked over, and as I got close, it was Brian Epstein. I said, "Oh, Brian, it's nice to see you. Thanks for coming to see us." So he said, "I haven't come to see you." He said, "My band is supporting your band tonight." I said to Brian, I said, "Would your band allow us to use your bass equipment?" He said, "Well, I've only been managing them a week myself." He said, "Maybe you should go and ask them." He said, "They're upstairs in their dressing room," which was a terrible place because it was a broken down warehouse and there was rubble all over the place. There was hardly any roof on the building. So I said, "Okay," and I went upstairs and asked who the bass player was. So of course Paul McCartney, who I'd never spoken to before in my life, he said, "I'm the bass player." So I said, "Well, I've spoken to your manager. It's okay with him, if it's okay with you, to loan us your bass amplifier because ours is broken down." And he immediately shouted over to John Lennon. He said, "John, this man wants to borrow our bass equipment. What do you think?" And from that moment we became great friends, because the answer from John was, "The show must go on, man. Of course you can borrow it."
The Beatles suit was a suit without a collar, you know, and we know that the Beatles picked that up, that idea, from a jacket that they'd seen in Paris. You know, they weren't always satisfied with a situation unless they could put their own mark to it. I mean, the Beatle boots were on display in a window in London, in a shop in the West End called Anello and David. I always say, whoever set up the sound system for the Cavern knew exactly what they were doing, and I don't know if the sound system was a sort of already set up for the jazz bands that played there, but the acoustics of the Cavern, you know, it was way down in the ground, as far down as you could go to some underground railway stations, and for those who have been to the Cavern will know it's an arch of brickwork. So anyway, whoever set up the sound system, I really do believe they were in advance of themselves. The sound was terrific. It was new to my ears, to what I'd heard before. I've never forgotten the name of the microphones that they used. They were little, like, aluminium coloured, silver, Reslo, and of course the bands tried to reproduce the sound of the Cavern wherever they went, and they bought Reslo microphones, but they didn't always sound the same in various places.